The tools, products, and techniques in this video are intended for use by adult modelers. Anyone under the age of 13 should always have adult supervision when using said tools, products, and techniques.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of the DL-44 build, right? Han Solo's blaster, yeah. At the end of episode 1, we had the pieces all printed and sanded and primed and all that stuff. And I had attached the bolt to the stock. I'd installed this. Then I remembered there's an entire trigger assembly, right, that goes down inside here. So yeah, I had to pull that back out real quick and try not to scuff it up too much. Anyway, on with episode 2. For every single part, we're going to start with matte black, right? Just a really quick shot of matte black. Now for the pieces like the stock and the scope, that'll be their final color, right? And so that'll be a nice smooth coat. But there are some other parts that will get other paints. And in fact, I've already painted a couple of them. Here's one. This is the flash suppressor. This has just been painted matte black. I know it's got a little sheen to it right now, but it dries completely matte after about 24 hours. And I thought we would focus on the parts like this one. Like I said, this stuff is all going to be black except for these. They'll get a second paint job. We'll watch that. But I thought we would focus on the other parts, right? Get them all painted black and then do the other things. Like this one's going to be a sort of a chrome finish. These will have a brown, almost stained wood kind of look to them. So yeah, these are just going to be boring, right? I'm going to shoot them with spray paint. They're going to be black, right? All this kind of stuff. These things are going to be the fun things. Another one I have is a little scope sight, right? That's going to be gold in the end. So yeah, I kind of thought this episode would be a little more interesting if we just concentrated on the bits that aren't black. So that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to carry these over to the airbrush, and when we come back, we'll talk about the rest of it. See you over at the airbrush. everybody, back from the paint booth. We got some nice painty parts, right? It's the flash suppressor we were working on. Got the grips all shiny and yeah, looking good. You've noticed I got my gloves on. That's because there's one more step I want to do to this guy. I mean, that looks pretty good as it is, but there's a metal product that I use. It's actually my favorite metal product that will really make a difference on this. It's called C1 Metalizer, right? I've been using this for years, and if you really want something to look metal, this is what you need. It's really messy. So I always put down a bit of newspaper, right? And definitely wear gloves. This stuff will get everywhere. It'll get all over your hands. Super messy, but well worth it. What you get in the box, for people who have seen my other videos, you've seen this stuff before, but just in case you haven't, you get in the box a tub of metal powder. Now, this box was completely white when I got it, originally. And that sort of give you an idea of what's possible with this stuff. But yeah, you get a tub of powder, you get a couple of little applicators. These are just little makeup applicators. You can get them anywhere, any like drugstore, pharmacy kind of thing. Yep, and then it came with a paper mask, but I think I used it maybe the first time, and then I haven't used it since for obvious reasons. In the tub, you'll have a really fine powder. I don't know if it's just graphite or I don't really know what it is, but it's a really fine powder, and it's so easy to apply. You just get a little on your applicator, right? And I don't know if the camera is going to pick up like that line right there. I don't know if it'll see it, but I'll do a side by side once we get it all done, so you can see the difference. But you just smear it everywhere, get into every little nook and cranny, and be generous. This stuff, I've had this stuff for, geez, I don't know, 4 years maybe, and you see how I've got plenty. So be generous. It really does just need to get everywhere. All right, and once we get it all over, hang on, I'm going to put the cap on this. You see how much of a mess it makes. Once we get it all over the place, then I'm just going to take a regular old makeup sponge, right, and just start wiping away excess. It's a very durable sort of surface. You don't have to worry too much about, scuffing it or hurting it or touching it, or none of that really matters. Now it will come off and it will be affected by thinners. If you use, a product that has really strong thinners, it may damage the surface. But for the most part, it's pretty durable. You can handle it. You can, you can do other things to it. You can weather over top of it, and look at that. And like I said, I don't know if the camera is going to pick up the difference. I'll do a before and after and put it over here. So hopefully you can see the difference. But now that took it from, something that was painted silver to something that looks like, it looks like a piece of metal. So yeah, I love this stuff. Like I said, I've used it for years, and it's just fantastic for getting a nice metal look. So let me clean up the mess here, and we will look at the other part, see what we have to do to get this thing wrapped up, hopefully. So yeah, give me 1 second. All right, got that mess cleaned up. Now we can look at some of these other pieces. These are the grip handles, right? We painted those a nice sort of brown. Got some gold bits, right? Those were the other. Basically, these are all the pieces that were just not flat black, right? Everything else is this really flat black. there's not a whole lot else I want to do to these necessarily. When I first started painting these, I super glued a stick on, so I do need to sort of clip that off and then sand down, you know. Oh, Boo, watch your eyes. Yep, just got a little stick there now, and there we go. Right, now that's ready for some glue. Same with this one. Watch your eyes. And there we go. All right. I do have the, I don't know what you call them, the decorative pieces. I don't know. That are going to go in these slots. I think we'll go ahead and stick those in. Just put a dab of super glue right in the middle of that hole. These will probably never come out anyway, but a little bit of super glue ain't gonna hurt. There we go. And there we go. Now they will get attached. Hey, hang on, gotta get the pieces. They will get attached to the main stock of the DL-44, and they are a particular side, but yeah, something like that, right? To secure those, same old super glue, right? That's why I left these bits bare. Oh yeah, before I forget, these actually have registration pegs designed into them, which I thought was genius. Whoever designed this was genius. Not only is there a groove here, right, for that to ride on and sort of register where it goes, but the designer also put these pegs in, and they slide through the handle, right? Isn't that genius? I thought that was just incredible. You didn't have to do that, but and it gives the handle a little more sort of weight, I guess is the best word. It feels solid. All right, well, that ended up being something of a job, actually. The little posts were about, I don't know, like a quarter of an inch too long or something. I cut a bit off. I don't know how much it was, honestly, but yeah, they were just ever so slightly too long, and it made the grip sit out kind of like this. So ended up having to get my Dremel and cut these off as carefully as possible. But yeah, now they work. They work just fine. I suspect this was probably my fault. Like I said, I'm still kind of new to the 3D printing, and maybe I needed to scale those differently or something. But anyway, got them cut down, and now everything fits really, really nicely. So gonna grab the glue, right, and I think what we'll do first is just glue them into one of the holes. There we go. Now I'm going to put a blob right there. Nice. And finally, All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. The only other thing I really want to do is a little bit of weathering, some edge weathering on these black edges. For that, I'm just going to use some Chrome Silver and do a little dry brushing. So give me 1 second. I'm going to grab the paints and brushes, and yeah, we'll get started on some dry brushing. All right, dry brushing. For this, we're just going to use a little Chrome Silver. If you've never done dry brushing, it's a really, really easy way to add a little age to your paint job. Just got it's sort of a semi-stiff, right? Not super stiff, but brush here. And am I on camera? Yeah, okay. I just load it up right out of the cap, right? And wipe off the vast majority, right? Then, here, we'll do it on this grill because I think you'll be able to see it the best. Then it's just a matter of sort of wiping across, and just the slightest bit of paint will come off, right? And it's subtle. I mean, I hope the camera's even picking that up. It's really subtle, but just gives the eye a little something to play with, right? Maybe maybe around the trigger guard here there'd be some wear. Right? Just pick the edges out. Is kind of all I'm doing. All right, I think that's about all I want to do for that. Like I said, it's really subtle, but that's kind of the point, right? Since you don't want it to be obvious, right? Yeah, but I'm gonna do this to all the rest of the pieces, of course, make them all sort of, you know, match. And but I'm gonna do that off camera. And honestly, I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. I don't think we'll be able to get the rest of everything done in one episode, and we still got the stand. There's a whole stand that goes with it. We still need to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna save that for episode 3. The next episode we will get this thing put together, get the stand painted up, and yeah, have this thing all finished up and ready for a shelf. So yep, as always, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Hope you're enjoying the build of the DL-44. Yeah, stay tuned for episode 3. We'll get this thing done. Bye-bye.